Hi, welcome to English and Science. This is going to be your project for the next 3 weeks. We have come up with a great collaboration that we hope you are going to thoroughly and absolutely enjoy. So, what you're going to be doing is you are going to be combining English with science. So, one project, 2 grades. How can you miss out? So, we're going to start with you are going to come up with a claim. The main English standards on this, you need a claim and you need to justify or prove that claim. So you're going to claim it, prove it, and cite it are the main 3 things you're looking at. Claim it, prove it, cite it. And Mr. Palmer is going to tell you about what your topics are.
All
Over
right,
to you.
so we're going to look at the Yellowstone State Park, and it's got several interesting things that have happened over the years. And you can pick one of them for your claim. And in science, claims with supported by evidence are huge. That's why this works so well and why you get to do one project and count it for 2 classes. So here are your options. Number 1, they reintroduced wolves into Yellowstone National Park several years ago. And there's been some speculation and debate on whether or not that was a good idea. Your claim would be it was a good idea or it was a bad idea, and then you would have to find evidence and explain why. Topic 2 you could choose. There is a mini canyon that's similar to the Grand Canyon inside the park. You could make a claim of how that was formed, when it was formed, and explain the geology behind it that proves your claim. Because you weren't there, so you're making a claim and supporting with the geological evidence. Number 3, there is a volcano under Yellowstone National Park that could blow at any time. And a lot of scientists think it could be world ending, or at least the United States ending. It's so big. Your claim could be, are we really at danger with this? Yes or no. You could say it's not very dangerous or it is very dangerous, and then support it again with evidence. Okay, so that's your third. There are other things you could do as well if you would like, but you have to contact and clear it with me. Now, if you don't have me, you have to contact and clear it with her.
Me.
All right, now she's going to tell you about the next 3 weeks, what we're going to expect.
Okay, so this week, we just want you to get used to Yellowstone Park and some of the other national parks. So you will need to take a virtual tour of a minimum of 3 national parks. One of those parks has to include Yellowstone. So make sure you have Yellowstone in there. You need to do a comparing and contrasting using at least 7 to 10 different ideas or items for each. If you're going to do a Venn diagram, 7 to 10 in each of those. You can choose a Venn diagram, you can choose to write it differently, you can do a graphic organizer, however you would like to show a compare and contrast. That is your job for this week. There will be more information on that in the Google Classroom, and you can ask either one of us on that. The next week, you are actually going to come up with a claim and you are going to give the main evidence for that claim. You are going to do an outline of why that claim is the way it is. You are also going to do an annotated bibliography to say, this is the information I want to use. These are the things that this information has within this context. So find a text, find internet, and we're going to help you learning how to cite that information. The next week, week 3, you are actually going to do a project. And you have 3 different options for a project on how you would like to complete it. So week 1, virtual tour, compare and contrast. Week 2, you're coming up with an annotated bibliography, more on that in the Google Classroom, and an outline. Your main claim and the basic information about it. Week 3, you're going to actually submit your project. And Mr. Palmer is going to talk to you about your actual project.
All right, now for your actual project, you're going to have 3 options. If you've had me since school got out, you're going to recognize some of these. Number one, you can make a Google slideshow like you're presenting evidence to a group of people. Maybe it's a press conference and you're showing a slideshow to explain something. Okay. Again, if you're not making a video, you're going to have to include your voice on those Google Slides reading them. Your second option is you can make a 5-minute minimum video pretending to be a park ranger, explaining these things. You could pretend to be a scientist. You could get partnered up with another person and do an interview like on a news show. Whatever you want to do, your creativity level is your only thing that'll hold you back on that. And your third option, you could just write a paper if you're more comfortable with that. But it's a minimum of 3 pages, and those pages don't include the title page and your bibliography. 3 pages of text. Okay, and you still have to have a title page and your annotated bibliography at the end. I think that's everything.
Okay, so I hope you guys are going to have fun with this. One thing I probably should have mentioned, an annotated bibliography is something that some of you are not familiar with. It's actually finding your source, whatever information. You write down all of the actual work cited that you're going to need, all the information for a bibliography, and like a very brief summary of what that is. So as you start researching it, make sure that you've cited it as you're researching, if you're just starting, and then a brief summary about it. So more on that. I know we'll have questions. That's something new you haven't done yet. We're just hoping that you guys will really enjoy this, that it'll be something fun, informative, and that you can be creative.
And remember, if you're stressing a little, we're going to give out new information at the beginning of every week explaining what we expect. We'll be laying out what we expect for the annotated bibliography. We'll be outlining what we expect for the project. Each week, we will put out another video. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Hope you're doing great.